course you do. Australians make incredible podcasts. And if you want to stay up to date with the best Australian shows, then check out Oz Podcasts. Look for us on social media and find your new favourite show from the Australian podcast directory on ozpodcast.com.au. That's OZPODCASTS, ozpodcast.com.au. Check it out.
If you like new stuff before anybody else, if you like to keep your finger on the pulse, if you like the future and want to be in it, keep on listening because we'll start in a minute. Techwebcast, the hosts and guests are unsurpassed. Techwebcast, because technology it moves so fast. Techwebcast, ha, stick around and you're gonna have a blast. Yeah, Techwebcast, ha, ha, Techwebcast. Let's go.
Welcome to episode 305 of the Techwebcast podcast, recorded on the 13th of September 2014. Techwebcast is recorded every Saturday at midday Melbourne time. Please rate us on iTunes and like us at facebook.com/Techwebcast. Also follow us on Twitter at Techwebcast. Your hosts today are Brad, Steve, Jody, and myself, Andrew. And sitting in with us today, we have Jacob Jones, Craig Ship, Brian Buar, Belinda, Mark, and Ballista57. And our very special guest is Lauren Day, social media consultant from laurendaymakeup.com. How you doing, Brad?
How you going, Andrew?
I'm very well, buddy. Very well. Beautiful day in Melbourne.
It is indeed. What a huge week.
It has been a very, very busy week. I've been up in Sydney, actually, for the last couple of days and home today, last night. So it's been a very busy one.
Okay, and also there's been a huge week with Apple too, mate.
There has. I think they had some event or something on during the week, if I recall.
Yes, they did. Indeed, an Apple event on Wednesday at 3 a.m. I was at 3 a.m. watching it, and I loved it.
No, absolutely. It was good. It was good. I think we'll probably get into that in a bit more detail, but I'm very interested in the iWatch.
Oh, same. Me too. I'm very interested in anything about Apple at all. Okay, we've got some Apple fans on today, Andrew. We've got Jacob Jones from the US. Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you, Brad.
And you're an Apple fan, is that correct?
Yes.
You know where this is going to go, right, Jacob?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
We got Belinda on. Welcome back, Belinda. You've been on here before. Welcome back.
Yes, I was on a couple of weeks ago. It was really fun then. It should be fun today.
And you're also an Apple fan as well?
Yes. I've had iPhones for most of the time that I've had a phone. So
good stuff. We also got Brian Buar on, which he's not really an Apple fan. He's an Android person.
All hail Apple. They can do no wrong.
Well, they can't, mate. Welcome back to the show, mate.
I welcome our new Apple overlords.
Yes. Good. Also, we got Ballista57 on. Welcome back, mate. Bryce from.
Hey, Brad. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Hey, what have you been up to?
Yeah, not much. Just same old.
Okay. Are you annoyed about you're not pre-ordering the phone, or?
Yeah, pre-order system screwed up yesterday. At least on the Apple side, it did. I think people were able to order it through Telstra and Optus and other sites, but yeah, the Apple site just was down. It was supposed to open at 5:01, and
same thing happened with the Optus website as well and the Telstra.
Crazy, yeah. I think someone said they weren't able to get the stock estimates, how much they had available, or something like that.
10,000, Optus said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Around that anyway, I think. That amount. We got Mark on. Welcome, Mark. Are you an Apple fan or you're an Android person?
Hey, Brad. Well, I like to think of myself as, a parent, that likes both children 50-50, Apple and Android 50-50.
Good way of thinking. Good. That's the way you think, Mark.
Just like me.
Craig Ship, I know you're an Apple fan. I know you don't like Android.
Actually, I'm a fan of quality. If it's the best and it's the highest quality, that's why I'm on this webcast, for example.
Exactly.
If it's the best, I'm there.
Okay. So we got Jody back on. Welcome back, Jody. You're an Apple
Speaking
person.
of quality.
Yeah, she's.
Wow.
She's great.
That's
quality.
sweet. Thanks. Yeah, no, I love Apple. Very excited about the announcement this week.
All right. We also got Lauren on. Welcome, Lauren.
Hey, Brad. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Did you watch the Apple event?
I didn't watch the Apple event live, but I've been doing some research online, and I was one of the people who tried to pre-order or reserve my copy of the Apple iPhone while the website went down. Obviously, there was server problems or something happened there, but it did start working again very early this morning. So hopefully, people have been able to reserve their iPhones.
Okay, cool. Good to know. We've got Steve back on. Welcome back, Steve.
Hey, how you doing? Just to let everybody know, I am not a fanboy. I'm a fan man. There you go.
That's you.
But yeah, how's everybody doing?
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, good on you, Steve. And how's your week been, Steve? What did you catch any of the Apple event, mate?
Yeah, I did. They definitely had some streaming problems.
Yes, indeed.
It was the Java. I think they were using JavaScript to automate blog posts that was the problem.
It was also the video stream too was playing up too.
Well, yeah, that's what's causing the video stream to go crazy. From what I understand.
Using Flash.
Flash? No, I was using my Apple TV.
I doubt they were using Flash.
Yeah.
Someone decided to troll them and use Flash.
I don't think so. That's the way rumors get started. You do realize that, Brian.
Yes, Brian.
Cool, let's start it.
Let's not blame anyone here. Let's blame Brian. Okay, Jade, let's go to the Apple event. What was your favorite thing and that sort of stuff?
I want the watch, no question. I think the advancements with the phone are pretty cool. I'm on a 5S. I don't know, I've been weighing this all day and whether it made sense to upgrade or not. I kind of think I'm going to wait for the 6S before I upgrade, but I might upgrade Jackie to a 6. We'll see.
Why don't you give her the iPhone 5S and then you get the 6?
That might happen too.
Ooh.
She's giving me the look.
Yeah. Did she watch the Apple event at all, Jody, or did she know anything about the Apple stuff?
Jackie, did you watch it?
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
She didn't see it.
Oh, okay. All right, good stuff. And what else, Jody, did you like about the Apple event?
I think the watch is pretty innovative. I know that some people have been talking about the fact that it doesn't have an integrated GPS, but it's so Dick Tracy-like, and I find it really compelling that you can have the power of a computer on your wrist. To me, that's just simply amazing. I'm definitely getting one.
Yeah, definitely. For how much was it? What was the price again?
I'm going to say it was $250.
$350. That's it. Yeah, it's $350.
Was it $350?
Yeah, $350.
That's not bad, actually.
That's not bad. Yeah.
For a watch?
Well, you got 3 different models.
Well, it's great. It's great value for a watch, and you can do so many cool things with it.
So how does it work? Because they said it's tethered to the iPhone.
Yeah, you need an iPhone. Any iPhone will work with that, Belinda. If you have an iPhone.
So it's just like when you sync it on the computer. Is that what it's like?
I think so. Is that correct? Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Well, it's a good point that Jody made that it doesn't have GPS, and it's going to use the GPS from the phone. So that means if you're out jogging or something like that, you have to have your phone with you. So that's something to think about. That's another reason to maybe keep the 5S, right? Because it's more compact and easier to carry with you. And then use that in conjunction with the
That's
watch.
true, but I guess at the end of the day, they want to release a 101 grade product. So they want to get some things out with a handful of features and work on them. If they release a product with 25 things in it, that's more things that can go wrong with the first release platform.
Yes, that's true.
But I'll tell you, this one has an awful lot. I mean, it has an awful lot.
I'll tell you, I would take a gamble on the phone, on the watch. And then, interestingly enough, they're not calling it an iWatch; it's just watch.
Apple Watch.
I would take a gamble on it because I think it's that novel and that unique. It does stuff. It tracks your fitness and health. You can get iPhone notifications. It can talk to other Apple Watches. You can pick up your heart rate using an LED and sensors. You can pay for goods. That's kind of neat with your watch. Trigger actions or dictate messages to Siri.
So what does this do for Coin?
What's that?
Well, and it's extremely well made. The quality of it.
Coin product.
Well, I'm going to be the devil's advocate on this one. To me, a watch is really hard to do even for Apple. I mean, it's still kind of tethered to the phone. It's not quite independent enough. Like even with the Samsung watch that they upgraded, they at least put a cellular chip in there. And I don't know.
But don't we have our phones with us? What's the big deal that it's tethered? I mean, we have our phones with us all the time anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why is that?
Yeah,
a
I
problem?
mean, so if it basically has the features of the phone, I mean, I don't know. I think people will buy it. I mean,
I think
maybe.
most people have their phone in their pocket most of the time.
But
and,
then again, after a while, I think it's just going to be
thing.
put in a
Exactly.
drawer after a while. I don't know.
It does need to be tethered, but that's to do all of the phone things. I'm sure
Yeah.
that the watch will still be a watch, and it will have a calculator and a calendar on it without being tethered. So it just means
We don't know
if you want
yet.
to go super geek.
We don't know yet how much it needs to have the phone. But the point is, how many of us go out without our phone with us? I mean, I never do. Do any of you all leave your phone at home?
No, never. I never do.
No.
No.
Oh my God! If I left my phone, I would freak.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so
Losing a child if you.
it
Only
seems
if
like
I
it's a
know that I'm gonna be
non-issue.
back within 20 minutes.
Yeah, it seems like it's a non-issue that you need to have your phone with you.
Let's go to Brian. Brian, what's your view on this? What's your view on all this? Are you going to
But
get?
do you want to go through the stories? And because we do have some stories about.
Stuff.
Yeah, okay. Let's go to Brian first. Brian, what's your view on this?
I like the new sizes. I've been wanting to get a bigger. If I've always wanted an iPhone, it's because I've wanted one that's the big size because I have big hands and using my iPod Touch, which is the same size as the 5S and stuff. Man, that's tiny compared to my Galaxy S4. I can actually type with it and stuff because I got big thumbs.
Yeah.
So, the only thing that
big phone.
yeah.
So,
yeah,
Brian, you get one or not? You gonna get one? What's your final view on it, mate? Do you like it or not?
I like it. I need to see it. I need to hold it.
Yeah.
Actually try it out because I didn't want to get involved with the pre-orders and stuff because I don't have that kind of money up front because in case if I ever need it for something else. But as for the watch, I used to wear watches when I was a teenager, but then it's like, I'm not going to keep this thing around my wrist all day, especially, when I'm crawling underneath desks and stuff, working on cables and everything.
Well,
I'm
they
not
say it's
going to.
stronger though. It's supposed to be like a really hard glass that's supposed to be abrasion and crack.
Sapphire. Yeah.
So it'll be sapphire, I think. They're using sapphire.
Yeah, it's a sapphire screen. It should
Yeah,
hold
but
up real well.
Well, what do you think, guys? Do you think that's going to be the first thing that's going to happen? Is that they're going to start getting a lot of returns because these things are breaking?
No. It's very well made.
It's
some
all
watch
depends on
experts,
how good the straps are.
Apple makes
some watch experts have examined it, and it's extremely well made. The bracelets, everything, it's all extremely well executed.
Well,
You
the
don't have to
straps are
worry about that.
replaceable, so even if they break or you can get another strap.
Yeah,
Straps
but
are cool,
it's-
actually.
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
all
really-
extremely well done.
And they've got the strap so you can customize it just like you customize your case at the moment. So I think that's really clever. But I honestly see that this watch release will in the future be as important as the first iPhone release. I honestly think this watch is going to be a significant product that we're only just seeing the start of it.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think the Apple Watch, it started way back when they made the iPod Nano and it was a square. It first came out in the colors and companies were selling wristbands because people were wearing them as a watch. And I think that's where they got the idea from. This watch has been in, they've been innovative at making this watch for years. This is like 5 years in the making. I don't think this watch has been under construction for just 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
This is a project they've been working on for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
This is what Apple does well is they take their time and they do things right.
Yep.
As opposed to Android, for example, that just throws anything out there.
Exactly.
And this is why they hit home runs, is because they execute, they get the details. And like I say, there's a long article from a watch guy that went through these watches, and he just said he was amazed the quality for $350. He said there's no watches that can touch the quality of these watches. So they've really done their homework and they've done a great job on this piece. For a first round piece, are you kidding me? It's off the charts.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Are you going to get one, Craig?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to order one. And I may not even wear it very much because I've got a lot of nice watches that I like that I wear. And for me, a watch is just about telling the time because I'm out at events, I'm covering events, and I absolutely need to be at a certain place at a certain time. And I need a watch I can just glance at and very easily see the time when I'm working. And I don't need the other functionality. So I'm going to buy one. I may not wear it that
Well, that
often.
may work okay for you, man, because you don't check your phone a lot, do you, when you're out and stuff, do you?
I don't check anything, and I don't want to. That's the point. I don't want to be distracted. When I'm out,
you can use
when I'm out working, I don't want to be distracted by anything. My phone's on mute, and I'm just working. So
there's your watch, man.
You know what? It's gonna. You know, that's what people used to say about the phone. They used to say, "I want a phone to be a phone. I don't want a phone that I'm going to get my email on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." But guess what? The phones, smartphones, have totally revolutionized the way we communicate. All of the social applications that go through your phone. I mean, my God, seriously, if I lost my phone, I would be devastated.
Yeah.
And I think that what you're going to find, Craig, I know that you're saying that right now you want it as a watch, but I guarantee this is going to wind up being, and I agree with what Andrew said, a real game changer, one of the most important movements forward. And it's interesting because a friend of mine who's a jeweler has been telling me that watches have been a declining market. The younger generation does not believe they need a watch because they have a phone, and they can, if they want to know what time it is, they look at their phone. They don't have a watch.
Yeah,
so
they can't.
Well,
I
the main
agree. I
reason
haven't
they
been
don't.
wearing a watch for over a year.
Yeah, the main reason they don't need a watch is because they're not doing anything productive, so they don't need a watch. But I don't know what time it is. But, yeah, the bottom line is it all depends on your use case. It all depends on what you're doing throughout the day, whether or not it's useful to you or not. I'm just saying for me, when I'm out covering events, I do not want to be distracted by anything. I'm taking photos and shooting video clips. I have no time for any kind of distraction. And so for my use case, all I need is the time because I'm meeting people at certain places to shoot a clip or whatever, right? And so, but my use case is unique and everybody's use case is going to be unique. Some people are going to find this thing extremely useful and functional. And I will use it sometimes. I'm buying one, right? And I will certainly use it sometimes. But
You said
a
something
lot
really
of times
interesting.
I won't.
You said something really interesting just a minute ago, Craig. You said that you like to wear a watch because you want to just quickly glance over and see the time without having to get your phone out. I think
correct.
this watch will be the same thing. I won't have to get my phone out to see a Facebook update that mentions me or to see, a new tweet that mentions me. I can just glance over at my watch. And for example, if Robert Scoble's mentioning me, I'll get my phone out and have a look and see what's going on. Whereas, Craig, if you're mentioning me, I'll look at it later.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
But see, here's the difference. I mean, it just depends on what you're doing, right? When I'm out working, I don't want to see any Facebook updates, any tweets, anything, period. I don't want to be distracted by anything. So it just depends. Like if a surgeon is cutting somebody open, right, they probably don't want to be distracted by something either. So it depends on what you're doing as to whether or not you want any of that.
Come on, they're going to have a mode, just kind of like when you're on the airplane and you set your phone on airplane mode. I am sure there is a do not disturb mode.
Oh, I'm sure there will.
So I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's a function of I'm wearing a watch.
And that's what I do with my phone, Jody. I slide the little button over and I put it on mute. Right, that's what I do with my phone when I'm out in the field. And but what my point is, if I put on one of my other watches and I go to the event, I don't even have to think about it. It's just done. All it's going to tell me is the time. That's all I want to know. I don't want anything else in that situation. Now the other watch might be in my car, right? So when I get in the car and I'm headed back home, I might throw the watch on and then be able to glance at it and do things and so on and so forth. So I'm not saying I won't use it. I'm just saying there are a lot of times when I will not wear it because I don't want even the possibility of a distraction, is all I'm saying.
Let's go to Bryce for a minute. Bryce, what's your view on all this, mate? And are you going to get an Apple Watch or what?
I think it's pretty cool, but to be honest, I don't know. I know everyone expected them to release it, but I didn't think that they were going to jump in on the watch trend. I mean, like from my point of view, I think it's pretty cool, but... And I know this is contrary to what everyone else thinks, but I don't know. I think it's a bit of a gimmick. I'd definitely buy one for sure, but
yeah,
I think that I mean, there's popularity in the quantified self movement, which is like, you measure your heartbeat and your calories burnt and all that. But from that point of view, it could be good and useful because you wear it all day and you see how many calories you burn and stuff like that. But then you can get into the argument that, it's not really that important to count calories, but that's not for this podcast. But yeah, I mean, there are different ways you can look at it. I don't know if, and the other thing is, like, people who are driving now, you can't hold your phone in front of you, but I don't know if it's going to distract drivers more because you can just look at it. I don't know what's going to go on with that. But, I mean, it looks pretty cool. Definitely the iPhone 6 looks much better. I didn't end up getting the 5S because the 5 was so poor quality that, it was just, I just didn't bother with it.
I thought you had the 5S.
No, I didn't bother with it. The 5 was just such poor quality that I didn't bother with it. But I'm genuinely excited for the 6 and the 6 Plus.
That's good. You're going to get the iPhone 6, are you?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. All right. Let's go to the news, Jody, and then we'll come back and talk to Mark and whoever else wants to have you on Apple.
You got it. Okay, so
Let me just
obviously
play this
there was. What's that?
I got to play this first. Hang on.
Oh, right. And welcome to the Techwebcast news section. I really don't know what to say after that intro. It throws me every time. In any case, as we are all aware, there was a big announcement by Apple this week, and the Apple iPhone 6 Plus pre-order shipping estimates have now slipped to 3 to 4 weeks. In fact, when I went on last night around 3 a.m., you couldn't order the Plus with anything other than 3 to 4 weeks. So I don't know when it was different, but apparently several hours after Apple began taking pre-orders for the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, the Apple Store shipping estimates for new orders of the 5.5-inch iPhone 6 Plus slipped beyond their original September delivery date in the United States. The larger 5.5-inch model is now showing an estimated ship time of 3 to 4 weeks. That's assuming that it's not sold out. You should check the online availability when you're ordering. With the smaller phone, the availability varies based on the geographic location. Supply of the smaller 4.7-inch iPhone 6 remains strong, with most colors and capacities still available for their September 19th delivery. If you attempted to pre-order the iPhone last night after about 12:01 Pacific Standard Time, a lot of us experienced problems, frequent crashes, errors with Apple's Apple Store app on both the iPhone and the iPad. Apple's own online store also did not go up until more than an hour after the target midnight start time. Customers may still be able to purchase launch day iPhone 6 Plus units by going to an Apple retail store on September 19th. The phone will also be available through carrier stores and select third-party retail outlets, although supplies at those locations are usually more limited than at Apple's own stores. Last year, it took about 4 hours for pre-orders of the iPhone 5S to sell out. All the gold iPhone 5S models saw their shipping estimates slip to October. In 2012, it took all of an hour for pre-orders of the iPhone 5 to sell out. So, I mean, it's obvious that when Apple does an announcement pretty quickly, people jump online and they want to get the phone. Pre-orders are kind of cool. I know that last time when they did the pre-orders, you could not receive the phone on the same day that you could go into the stores. But this time they did go back to delivering the phones the same day that they were available in the stores. And on other Apple news, apparently people are freaking out about the Apple's forced iTunes download of U2's new album. While Bono and Tim Cook might be excited about the release of U2's new album, not everyone's sharing that enthusiasm. Toward the end of Tuesday's Apple event, Tim Cook and Bono announced that every iTunes user would be given the band's new album for free. While it might not sound like a bad thing, some people were angry over the way that Apple chose to gift us the album. U2's new album, Songs of Innocence, shows up in your iTunes library as purchased, whether users have chosen to buy it or not. That's made a lot of people angry, and apparently it's kind of difficult to get rid of that album. Users who have opted to download new purchases to their iPhones automatically have found the new YouTube album just sitting there on their phone since Tuesday. But even if the iTunes users hadn't chosen the automatic downloads, apparently Songs of Innocence will still be displayed as an iTunes in the cloud purchase. This means it'll be shown as part of your music library, even if you delete all of the tracks. The only way to make that YouTube album go away is to go to your Mac or PC and hide all of your iTunes in the cloud purchases, or you can use iTunes to manually hide each track from your purchased items list. Personally, I like the album, and I think it's pretty cool. But oh well, I mean, there's always
sounds like a
haters.
real first world problem.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, I got something for free.
Can't believe this free music they keep putting on my device.
You know, it's great though. It's great by Apple though. You know, it's free. And how much would that album cost, Andrew? If you have to buy it, mate?
$12, $15 maybe to download.
Yeah, $16.
I mean, next thing they'll do is give me a free iPhone.
Oh, there you go. That's why I love Apple, mate.
I like YouTube.
They give you free shit, you know?
They have like what $100 billion in stored up
More,
cash.
almost,
so you know,
almost 200.
You don't
almost
see Andrew
200
doing
billion.
You don't see.
So you know where the part of that hoard pile went to. You know, wonder how much they actually paid U2 for this whole thing. 500 million iTunes accounts or whatever, and then you
but it's
get,
only
like,
for
I
a
don't
limited
know.
time that they're giving it away. Then they'll sell a whole bunch of them after that, and they'll make it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't mind YouTube. YouTube. Go ahead, Jody. What else has been happening?
Well, Apple also announced, as we discussed earlier, the Apple Watch, not the iWatch, but the Apple Watch. And evidently, tracking your health is just the beginning. When Apple CEO Tim Cook told audience that he had something up his sleeve, apparently it was something up his sleeve. It was a watch. And evidently what the journalists are saying is that this product, this iWatch or watch, is going to redefine what people expect from this category. The new Apple Watch is squarish. It's wearable. It's available in 2 different sizes. You have a choice of metals. You have various colored straps. And it does more than just tell the time. It's a health and fitness gadget that does double duty as a wrist-worn, voice-powered communicator. The device is similar in size to the Pebble Steel, although it's more rounded with what looks like it has few sharp edges. The watch isn't going to be coming out until early next year, so I guess they're going to miss the Christmas season. But the potential is really intriguing, even if the interface looks like it's going to take some getting used to. And that's because there's a side-situated digital crown, like when you used to wind your watch, you had that little roll-up, wind-up knob. Well, it's kind of like that. It acts as a scroll wheel, and it also, you can tap it. Some gestures require swiping on the screen. Others use the force sensing screen to register force touches or an intentional press on the display. And that happens to be different than taps and long presses. And the watch knows this. Exactly how it knows it, we don't really know, but it does seem to know the difference between taps. And yet customers are going to have to brace themselves for a little bit of education or training because it's a little bit different than the interface we're used to with the regular iOS devices. It also turns on the screen when you pick up your wrist, which should reduce any scroll-heavy spins or clunky force bumps. There's also a handy Siri-powered voice feature, so you can do things like you can talk to your wrist, which I think
now Jody, Jody, I have a question about that. Does it have a speakerphone built into it? Can I take a phone call on it and have a quick conversation with my wrist without having to take the phone out of my pocket?
No, yeah, you can't.
You can't?
I think that's probably going to come in.
And you can.
I think that'll come in future devices because remember, this is the first time that they're rolling out a watch.
Because for me, that's very important. That's a
Craig,
very important feature.
I'm pretty sure you can do that though.
Really, Mark?
You can.
How do you do it?
You can.
Explain, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read an article saying you can do it, though obviously they don't let you plug headphones into it or anything. So you can take quick, short calls on the watch as long as you don't mind it being on speaker.
Oh,
and it'll
okay.
actually
Good.
transfer it to
Interesting.
the phone.
Okay, that's good to know. Mark, where do you work? Yeah, mate, you work at some sort of phone place, don't you?
Yeah, it's called
Mention that, mate.
Yatengo
Yeah,
Shopping.
Mention it. Where is that?
It's called Yatengo Shopping, yatengoshopping.com.au.
There you go, mate. That's where you get all the phones from.
Yeah, that's fine.
You selling the iPhone, new iPhone then?
We don't usually sell Apple products at launch, usually a bit later on, but I think we're working on something at the moment which hasn't been announced yet.
All right, sweet. Good stuff.
Hey, are you going to call Kit with that watch?
See, Jacob, that's the point. If it'll do that, to me, that's a big deal because like the example I gave earlier, if I'm at an event, right, I could answer a call very quickly and just say, hey, I'm tied up till 4. I'll call you back at 4 p.m. That way I don't have to do a text back to them. I don't have to do anything. I just actually take the call and say, hey, I'm busy. I'll call you at 4. I mean, that's a quick, easy thing that I could do on my wrist. That makes a difference.
Well,
What color
I think
band did you get? What color would you get, Craig? What would you get? Because there's 3 different models, isn't there, of the watch?
Yeah, I'll just have to wait and see how much the 18 karat gold one is. Leo Laporte said it's only going to be $1,000. I find that hard to believe. I think it'll be more than 1,000. I think he's crazy. But if it's 1,000, I'll buy 2 of them.
Okay, and give us one.
Look, it is a first version
I'll
product.
I'm going to buy the rose gold.
Buy one for Jody.
I think it comes in rose gold and regular gold.
Okay, cool. Buy one for Jody.
Well, I like the rose. Yeah. That's
well,
nice.
I think it's very
Jody.
possible. I think it's very possible to have this watch where
Jody
it will.
didn't even visit me when she was here in Maryland, so I'm not.
I think this
I tried to.
Go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead,
I'm just,
Steve. What were you going to say,
Okay.
mate?
Yeah, I was saying that I think it's very possible for Apple to do this where the watch would pick up the phone call from the phone because right now there's the iPhone 6 supposed to have voice over LTE where if you're in a building where you don't have cellular reception, it will take it over Wi-Fi. Same thing with Yosemite coming out where your phone can transfer it from your phone to your desktop computer using Wi-Fi as well. So I see this as being very possible.
Yeah, good point, Steve. And also, iOS, it's going to be out this week too, Steve. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, iOS 8.
Yeah, this week. It's going to be good.
Woo!
Can't wait. Okay, Jody, any other news?
Well, yeah. Actually, there's still more about this iWatch or watch. But in answering what Craig was suggesting about having it communicate through the phone, I suspect because they keep getting bigger and bigger with the iPhone itself, that ultimately what's going to wind up happening with this watch is that the watch will be the phone. So you can have a phone in your watch, and I they're always introducing new iterations. And I suspect that, the next time that they reintroduce this, it probably will be its own phone. And I think that would be super cool. But anyway, here's some of the things that you can do with the Apple Watch. Like I said earlier, you can track fitness and health. There's several baked-in wrist-facing sensors. So part of the cool thing about those sensors is that it picks up your heart rate, and you can then communicate your heart rate to somebody else, although I don't know why you'd want to do that. But when you think about health applications, that could kind of be neat if you need to transmit information to a doctor. You can talk to other Apple Watches. You can pay for goods. You can trigger actions or dictate messages via Siri. So that kind of does communicate with your phone. One of the neat things for the fashion forward is that you can change the watch faces. There's a variety of functions, maps for turn-by-turn navigation. So now that's on your wrist. A communicator tool that lets you connect directly with your friends' Apple Watches. You can display your favorite photos. You can tweet from your wrist. Starwood is offering an option where you can unlock your hotel room. You can see airline flight information. You can run customizable bits of information showing things like your calendar data or music information. You can get vibrations using the Taptic engine. So it is kind of multifunctional, but Craig, I agree with you. I think there's going to be opportunity for this to evolve.
But Jody, I don't think they're planning on it being its own thing. I think they're, at least for the foreseeable future, planning it for it to be an extension of the iPhone. I think that's the whole point is that the iPhone does a lot of the heavy lifting, right? And this thing is just an interface to the iPhone. And so that way the battery life will be reasonable, and maybe the next version will be even thinner. Some people have complained that this thing's a little bit too thick. And so I think they want to keep it as small and compact as possible so it's comfortable to wear all the time. And I think it's going to be planning on the phone itself doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It's
I
just
think
an
okay, let's take a bet. I bet that in the near future, in one of the new releases, that this will be also a phone, a standalone phone. That's my bet.
When how many years?
I'm going to say probably the next iteration or the one following that. So assuming that they come out with a new one each year, like they do with, like the iPhone and, other products, I would say within 2 iterations.
Okay, so a dinner at the location of your choice, you're on. They're not going to do it.
You got it. And you guys are witness.
Hey, does the watch have Bluetooth?
Yeah, I think that's how it connects.
That's
Yeah,
how it connects?
Bluetooth.
Yeah. That's how I thought it would communicate with the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have like one more story that has to do with the Apple launch, if you guys aren't sick of it yet. Evidently, and we talked about this earlier, but ear customers encountered lengthy delays. Others couldn't even access the site. Some customers were reporting that the larger iPhone 6 Plus had sold out. Websites for AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint were all overloaded at some point Friday morning. Apple wouldn't comment on that. A spokesperson did tell Recode that overnight sales of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus had set a record. The spokesperson did not say how many phones were sold. Pre-order snafus are not uncommon. They've been minimized in recent years after Apple opened its massive data center in North Carolina. However, the iPhone 6 was widely anticipated to be the best-selling iPhone of all time. So it's not surprising that the demand overwhelmed the company's servers. Interestingly enough, also during the announcement, I know there was difficulty. There were snafus there too, where people were reporting crashes. I know I kept trying to get in on my phone and it kept crashing, to watch the live blogging. So interesting that such a high technology company had those kinds of dilemmas. So, and those are pretty much the Apple announcement stories. There's a couple other interesting things that Apple's doing. Apple released iOS 8 ahead of the September 17th public release. For those of you who are following iOS, the iOS 8 beta for developers was released on August 4th, and they did a push of iOS beta 8. I'm sorry, iOS 8 beta 5, and it's set to be released over the air on September 17th for iPhone, iPad, and iPod, running iOS 7 with a list of new features including iCloud Drive, a new health app, support for app extensions and third-party keyboards, continuity features that bridge iPhone, iPad, and Mac, new family sharing functionality, and more. iOS 8 will support iPhone 4S and later, iPad 2, iPad mini and later, and the iPod Touch 5th generation. So, and let's see, what else do we have? Apple was also rumored to acquire Path Social Network and wants to integrate it with Messages. I know, Brad, you're big on Path. I played with it, but I'm not that active. But
yeah, I don't really open the app that much anymore. I'm sort of got bored of it now. But I still have it on my phone. It's not a bad app. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if anybody else sees. And then evidently another Mac rumor story that Apple's ultra slim 12-inch notebook supposedly is coming in mid-2005 with possibly silver, gold, and gray, space gray, which is really, I have to tell you, gunmetal, but they don't want to call it that.
I see a theme here.
Yeah, so do I. See a theme here. That's like having an iPhone. Anyway.
What's that?
Well, them colours to do with the iPhone.
Oh yeah,
they're going down the James Bond path, I think.
That's good. It is though. But don't you think? I mean, space gray. What the heck is that? I mean, you say gunmetal, people know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, definitely. I just say grey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Space gray. All right.
But with the word gun, it sounds too violent.
Yeah.
True.
Assault gray. There we go.
Greyhound grey.
Brad, do you want me to read a couple more stories?
Yeah,
or
sure.
do you
Go ahead. Yeah,
want-
just read 2 more, and then we'll get to Jacob and on his view on the stories.
Okay, well, Skype today updated its iPhone app calling features and accessibility improvements, and you can download that new version directly from the Apple App Store. Full Skype 5.4 for iOS changelog. You can turn a chat, an audio call, or video call from a group audio call with up to 4 people. You can add or remove people to an existing call. New messages are now read out from anywhere in the app. Reliability has been improved. And you can delete recent conversations using the voice over rotor. So I don't know how exciting that is, but for those of us who use Skype, but Google Hangouts is now offering free voice calls to numbers in the US and Canada. Earlier today, Google started offering Google Voice users the option to migrate their accounts to Hangouts. Now we know the full extent of the update, as well as integrating Google Voice accounts. All Hangout users, iOS, Android, and web, can now make voice-only calls to one another, as well as free calls to regular numbers in the US and Canada. Isn't that exciting? I mean, you can do real-time voice chat.
That's cool.
What a concept.
You can also use FaceTime audio as well.
What?
You could also use
Amazing.
FaceTime audio as well. On the iPhone.
Yeah, you can
Good on
take
you,
out
Google.
the video and just do audio.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. What Lauren said.
Well, you know, Jody, you said U.S. and Canada, but Brad was able to call me, no problem.
Yeah,
from
exactly. Yeah,
Australia to U.S.
Yeah, I called Craig, and yeah, that was free
Long way.
on the
There you go.
on the Hangout app.
Yeah.
It might
Sometimes
only.
Yeah.
What's that,
it might only matter the country you're actually calling, not the country you're in.
Well, I was calling his phone, mate.
Yeah, no, I mean, what country is he in? The US or Canada?
Yeah, USA.
Yeah, that. It doesn't matter that you're in Australia as long as he's in the USA.
So that's free, right, for me, right? I don't get charged for that call.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter what country you're calling from. All that matters is that the country you're calling is the USA or Canada.
Okay, good stuff.
No.
Good to know. All right, Jody, any more news you want to mention?
Well, there's lots of news, but I think we've probably newsed out at this point.
Yeah, we are. We are news out. Let's go to. Thanks for reading the news, by the way, too, Jody. You do a great job
My pleasure.
each week. Jacob, Jane, let's go to you. What's your view on all this?
Well, for the one thing, with Apple screwing everybody over with their when people wanting the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that much because.
Oh man, I did not like it at all. Especially this,
Hey, guys, put this in perspective. They're selling more phones than any company has ever sold in the history of mankind. They're probably selling more things than any company has ever sold.
I mean, Craig, though,
it is just amazing. I mean, they've booked all the shipping from China to here for like the next 3 months. They've like booked it all, and they still can't move enough phones here for as many as they're selling.
I'm getting my phone.
They sell more phones in 3 months than Android will sell in a year. I mean, it is unbelievable how many phones they're selling, and they're super high quality phones, super well made. It's just amazing.
I would never go back to Android, Craig. I know I was.
Oh my gosh, that's a bag of hurt.
Oh mate, I had a phone for a month, mate, and it was just shocking.
Android is inferior by.
And then you can't sell them. You can't sell them if you have a used Android phone. You might as well use it as a doorstop. You can't get any money for it.
Once you go Apple, you never
and
go
it's
back.
one awesome doorstop.
You can't get any money. You can't get any money for it. I mean, I can sell my 5S, my used 5S, right now for $350.
Really?
Yeah, I checked with Gazelle. Well, I could sell it right now for $350.
Well, I'm selling my iPhone 5S. I can get more than that for $350.
And I'm not going to sell mine. I'm going to keep it, but I could sell it. I mean, imagine if it was an Android phone, what I'd get for it.
Just throw a look at it, mate.
Okay. What would you get for it?
$50 maybe.
Let's find out.
20.
If I was lucky.
Probably $2.
Hold on.
I think it all comes down to.
What's that, Jake? Go ahead, mate. Sorry.
I said minus 1 cent.
1 cent.
Oh dear.
1 cent.
No. In other words, lower than a cent.
Minus
You have
1
to pay
cent,
them
you
to
say.
take it.
Cent.
That's pretty sad when you contact Gazelle and they say you've got to pay them for them to take your phone.
Oh,
That's
did they?
sad.
It is.
I am finding out what a Galaxy S4 on
Let's go to
T-Mobile
Bryce for a minute,
costs.
and then we'll come back to Brian. Bryce, what about you? What's your view on the news stories, mate?
Yeah, I just thought that the pre-order system kind of annoyed with it because
I was annoyed.
they should have opened it up. Even though they're selling a lot of phones, it should be functioning, and they should open it up so that it should be on a first come first served basis. But it was just kind of like it was just all screwed up. And then even when it did open, I went to go place the order, and it kept refreshing the page. The one in the US worked, but every time you tried to add it to the cart, it would just refresh the same page, and then you got to click it again and refresh the same page.
Yeah,
and it was ridiculous. I mean, if they're making that much money off it, they really should ensure that their customers at least can not get frustrated while trying to order their products and send them thousands and thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
So,
Who's your phone provider, Bryce? What do you use for your phone?
Yeah, but what is
I
the
was just on
suggestion? What is the solution though? How do they
Well,
fix
they
that
should take
problem?
phone calls, mate. They should take phone orders out.
They're selling like 20 or 30 million of these things in
Well,
one
yeah,
night.
but they-
How in the heck can they take that many phone calls?
I don't
You're
know.
kidding.
They should have a better system, I reckon, next time.
There's no better system on the face of the planet. No place gets this many orders in this short a time.
I have to agree with.
Done.
I agree
Their
with
IT
Craig Ship on that one.
should be able to support it because
Jody,
they've got all
can you
that
talk
cash.
some sense in these guys, Jody, please?
It's useless.
They could never have a call center.
You probably got.
You are brilliant.
Actually, I have to say, here's the thing, guys. Seriously, when you have so many people who are trying to clamor to buy the same thing at the same time, when you think of the magnitude of what Apple has to do to accommodate that, it's pretty incredible. And what's even more incredible is the delivery, because the last time, well, actually not the last time, but the time before when I pre-ordered, I got my phone at 8 a.m. when they were being delivered in the stores. When the stores were opening their doors, my phone arrived on my doorstep all the way from China.
Good stuff.
And amazing that they wind up with such delivery.
Yeah.
So I
Jody's
mean,
right.
okay, the website went down, but gee whiz, they were inundated. They really were.
Hey, Jody,
they
did you see that? Did you see that famous comedy skit where the guy was talking about how amazing technology is? You know, people flying through the air. Did you ever see that? You know the one I'm talking about?
No, you can send it to me later. No.
You guys are not telling me you haven't seen that.
What, the one on the Apple event? The one when they did
The one where the comedian it's on like the Tonight Show or something, one of those late night shows, and he does this skit about technology being so amazing and people just complain about it. You didn't hear that?
I've heard of. Yeah,
it went viral big time. Well, anyway, what the guy said was he's on the plane. You know, they're on the plane. They just get internet on the plane, right? The captain announces, "Hey, we now have internet on the plane, right? Try it out. You know, you connect with your phone." And the guy connects with his phone. He's using the internet, and then 10 minutes later, it goes down, right? The internet goes down on the plane, and the guy goes, "Shit, what's this?" You know, and the comedian says, 10 minutes ago, it didn't even exist. There was no Wi-Fi on any plane, right? And this guy uses it for 10 minutes, and then it's down, and now all of a sudden it's junk, right? And so that's what our society has gotten to, is we expect so much, right? I mean, we expect Apple to be able to sell 30 million phones in one night.
In
Are
2
you
seconds.
kidding me?
Yeah, but
they're expected
they
to sell
have
in
all
2
that
seconds.
cash on hand. They
Hang on,
should
Steve.
invest some of
Go ahead,
that
Bryce.
cash.
Go ahead, Bryce. What are you going to say?
Yeah, but they've got all that cash on hand. They should improve their IT infrastructure. I mean, it's been happening for so long.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
pisses everyone off.
Yeah, I agree.
They've been hiring people as fast as they can hire.
It's like
There's not enough smart
I
people
think
in
they
the
should
world.
improve the web server and stuff. You know, that's
It's like doing it.
They're working as fast as they can.
It's like a denial of service attack with all these millions of people on one website. It's like doing a denial of service attack, which you hear. Yeah.
It's not very hard to avoid. If they actually had a scaled hosting solution like Amazon AWS, they wouldn't have had an issue.
Yeah, and also, especially with cloud computing, you can scale it as you need it, and they've got all that cash. I mean, if I were a shareholder, I'm not at the moment, but from my perspective, I'd be thinking, well, you're denying people who want to give you thousands of dollars, and they get pissed off and they just go to bed and think, screw it, I'm not going to bother ordering these people.
There was also
You know, that's less money for them. And at the end of the day,
Actually, I think this actually sells more phones because the fact that people can't get it makes them want it even more.
No, but that doesn't work because they tried to do that.
It's been working. It's been working like a charm. I mean, they've been selling more than anybody else, so it's been working pretty good so far.
No, but I mean, like, in terms of if they just had, because they try to limit supply sometimes, you know, but I mean,
well, they depend on other
they're making
people
them as fast as they can make them. I mean, they're building factories and everything else. My gosh, the numbers are just insane. How
but
many?
if you remember last year, they were saying that they were limiting the supply.
I think it's deliberate.
I went to line up and they turned around and I said I want to get the whatever it was, 64 gig gold iPhone 5S. They turn around and say, oh no, we don't have supplies. So I never bought one. And I have every single iteration of the iPhone that's ever been released except for the 5S. And I spend a lot of money on Apple products. And to be honest, when they screw me around like that, I'm not going to give them money. And, you know, it's great, you know, you get these people who are diehard fans and will get it anyway. But in all seriousness, they really shouldn't be limiting supply. They should allow free market interactions.
Well, I think they're making as many as they can make. I don't know where you get that they're limiting supplies. They're making as many as they're just selling more than they can make. I mean, they got Foxconn working round the clock and the other manufacturer working round the clock, working those poor people over there to death trying to make these things. And
literally,
I mean, and Tim Cook is flying all over the freaking globe, buying up all the raw materials from everybody. I mean, taking all the oxygen out of the environment for any competitors. I mean, it is insane what they're doing. I mean, I have to give them a pat on the back. I don't know how they do it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I shouldn't say they're limiting supply this year because I don't think they are. But I know with the 5S that they were because you couldn't buy it anywhere. And
well, they were rationing them. They were giving the stores. They were giving the stores as many as they could give. Right? I mean, they if they'd had more, they'd have given out more. Right? But they just couldn't build enough of them. And people were saying that the gold one wasn't going to be that popular, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted the gold, which I think the gold is gorgeous, and so I think they misjudged how many people would want the gold. But I mean, you got to make judgment calls on that. But they ended up selling out all the other colors too. The gold sold out first, but the others sold out as well.
I think the gold sold out last in Australia. I'm not sure about. Well, I noticed that the gold 6 Plus sold out last. That might be different depending on what region you're in.
Maybe they made more of them. You mean that's hard? You're saying the 6 Plus, but
I mean the gold color of the 6 Plus was the last one to sell out in Australia, from what I saw.
Yeah, but maybe they made more of them because of the experience they had when they introduced the 5S, and they had the gold color.
I personally interpret it as people settling on the gold color, or that's my interpretation of it. People couldn't get the space gray or the silver one, so they settled on the gold one. Well, that's my interpretation of it.
Well, I think in the U.S. the gold, like I think Craig's right on. The gold, nobody anticipated it was going to be as popular, and it wound up to be the hottest one to get. So I suspect that when they went to the newer edition, the 6 and the 6 Plus, they probably produced more of the gold, anticipating the same thing. So I mean,
I'm not completely.
Yeah, but the gold is sold out again. It's already sold out again.
Yeah, I mean, in Australia, it was the last one to sell out. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Gotcha. But it's still sold out, though, right?
Yeah, people would have settled for that color. That's my interpretation of it.
The gold is definitely, I think, is the nicest. That's what I'm going to get for the 6 Plus. I think that's probably the nicest color that they've got.
I don't know.
I think you should get one of each.
It's really more like a champagne color, really. I mean, I think it's a classy looking color.
Yeah.
I'd rather get the black one.
I think the black appeals to men more, and I think the gold appeals to women.
Actually, I like the gold.
There's no black. There's no black. There's space gray,
which
black
is on the front.
Yeah, I want the one with the black front.
Which one are you going to get, Bryce?
The gold. The only reason I'm getting the gold is because I was going to get it in the 5S. Although I do think I've got to be honest. I do think that the space gray on the 6 Plus looks pretty nice, but I want to get the gold because I didn't get it last time.
Okay, fair enough.
Although the space gray is very nice.
It is very.
I agree with you, Bryce. I got the space gray after seeing them in person when I got the 5S.
Yeah, I think the space gray definitely looks a lot better on the 6 Plus than it did on the 5. In my opinion, anyway. I think it looks pretty nice.
I get it. I get the gray for safety reasons.
Let's go to the guest then, Jody. Lauren, you're welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brad.
Tell us what you do.
I work as a social media consultant, so using Apple technology is pretty much intertwined in my job every day. So I'm pretty much an Apple addict. I wouldn't say I'm an Apple fan. I'm definitely an Apple addict, but I've got multiple devices with Apple, iPad Mini, many iPhones, but I have only been sticking with the iPhone 4S because I didn't really think that the iPhone 5S was that great. I knew that the iPhone 6 was coming, so I just skipped the iPhone 5S. So I'm really excited about the iPhone 6.
Brad?
Silence.
Do you have an iPhone 6? Do you have an iPhone 6 on order?
Yes, I pre-ordered the iPhone 6 this morning. I tried to order it. I got
which
the
one?
I got the iPhone 6 64 gigabyte gold.
Wow,
Good for you.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I tried to order it within the first hour that it went online because when you guys, I think it was 5 p.m. your time, but that was like midnight our time. And I jumped on, usually it was about between 10 p.m. and midnight, and the servers were down. But I tried again this morning about 6 a.m. and I got through. So
Well, maybe, Bryce, you can try it on the Apple Store again, maybe, mate.
I think the shipping times have gone to 2 to 3 weeks. I managed to get a hold of some stock somewhere, but the shipping times blew out.
But when,
At least
when are you getting your phone, Lauren, on Friday, are you?
I'm getting mine on Friday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people in Australia were trying to get the phone through the service providers, like our service providers, Telstra and Optus, and they were selling out as well. So I knew that I wanted to go directly to the Apple Store because they would have had the most stock available. And for me, this phone is more important than anything at the moment. Upgrading from the 4S to the 6, skipping the 5 altogether. My sister has a 5 and it's pretty great, and I love the fingerprint technology. But I knew that the iPhone 6 would have, blown all the other phones on the market out of the water, and it has.
So now, did you say yours is an iPhone 4 that you're upgrading from, not a 4S?
I've got the 4S. It's white.
Okay, yeah, the 4S was a pretty good phone. That's what I had, and I went from the 4S to the 5S.
Yeah.
Are you getting the 6, Greg?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to hold off for the 6S.
You know what's so funny? That's exactly the way I feel.
Yeah, because I mean, first of all, the interim model phones like the S series phones are really good phones because what they do is they just upgrade all the guts, all the stuff inside, and so in many respects that's a very good phone. So I suspect that they might go to the Sapphire screen on the 6S and they might upgrade all the guts. And so it's probably going to be an epic phone. The 6 is a great phone too.
Yeah, I got the iPhone 6. I ordered the iPhone 6. And
yeah, you can't go wrong. Any of them, you can't go wrong,
exactly.
right?
Any iPhone's great, mate. Doesn't matter which one it is.
Yeah.
They're all great.
But I'll tell you, the 5S is still a fantastic phone. I mean, it just is.
Yeah, definitely. So Bryce, where are you going to get your phone from, mate? Where are you going to order yours from?
So an IT guy that I know has stock of it, so I'm going to get it off him. But the Apple online store, at least last time I checked, I think which was early this morning, the 6 Plus in the gold 128 gig was on back order for 2 to 3 weeks. So I don't really want to wait that long because my 5 that I have, the home lock button doesn't work, and it's pretty messed up. So
and Lauren, did your phone? Are you buying your phone outright from Apple or not?
I'll be going on a plan, definitely.
On a plan, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Mark? Are you going to get the new phone, mate?
I'm still trying to decide between the Note 4 or Edge or the iPhone 6 Plus, so I haven't completely decided yet.
Okay.
So with all of these, issues with Apple, first of all, they had the live stream issue. Then they wouldn't let you watch it if you used Google Chrome. Then there were all the pre-order issues. It's a bit of a turn-off, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that note is going to be a huge turn-off if you get that.
I don't think that's based on any logic, that comment.
I don't know. It's based on a lot of people I've talked to.
Look, I currently have the Note 3 and it's a great device. I don't
like
agree.
the Note 4.
I don't agree with this.
You're a better man. Yeah, you're a better man than me if you can handle those things.
What did you say?
But I don't agree with this whole, Android phones as doorstops, type of thing.
You're a good man. No, if you can handle those phones, you're a good man.
But you can do a lot more on Android if you're willing to put in the effort and learn anything. That's the truth. I like both Apple and Android, but you can do more on Android, and the actual hardware is more powerful. With Apple, you're getting the better user experience overall. And with Android, you are getting more powerful internals and the ability to do more things. It's more of an open environment, whereas the iPhone's obviously more of a closed environment.
Yeah, definitely. Jacob, what about you? What's your view on the new iPhone and the Apple Watch, mate? You didn't answer your question properly.
Well, someone was speaking with me.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, what I was saying is I like the iPhone 6. It's actually pretty good.
You're going to get one?
Where am I going to get the money, Brad?
Well, I think someone should buy me. So, who else should we ask? Let's go to Belinda. Belinda, what about you? You going to get the new iPhone?
I've got the 4S at the moment, so I'm thinking about upgrading straight to the 6.
Okay, nice. Yep.
And I've got the money for it, so.
Yeah, okay. You just go on a plan, right? Or are you going to go on a plan?
I could go on a plan, yeah. I could ask for an upgrade.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got an upgrade. I've got an upgrade actually from Optus.
Some with Optus too.
Yeah, same. Yeah, so you might be eligible for an upgrade.
Yeah, I should ring them and check.
Yeah, I was quite happy about that. Actually, I didn't even know I was eligible. I was quite happy about that with Optus. Bryce, what do you use for your phone provider, mate? Optus or Telstra or Vodafone or?
Telstra. I switched from Optus a little while ago because I just find that Telstra has better 4G, faster, and they generally tend to have a better sort of user experience than Optus. But I did switch probably 2010, I think. So it may have improved quite a lot since then, but when I switched, there was a bit of a difference between Telstra and Optus. Not a huge difference, but just if you're into using mobile data and everything, I think that it's probably the way to go.
I think Optus has got a better option with data and stuff because you can share your data and stuff on different devices.
I think no, I agree. When you're talking about the data plans and whatnot, I think they definitely have better deals.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, because Telstra's some of it's a bit overpriced, but I think from the speed point of view, and really that's all I'm interested in, I think that Telstra is definitely the way to go. But I think Optus definitely has better deals.
Yeah, definitely. And see, what about you, mate? You going to get the new iPhone, or you're not going to wait? You're going to wait for a bit, or?
Oh, I just recently got a iPhone 5S, which I'm happy with. I can wait. It's not a big deal.
Good answer, man. Good answer. And Lauren, tell us more about what you do too. You sort of cut you off.
That's okay.
You know, different functions.
I basically work in social media, so my job's pretty much 24/7. But it's a really flexible job that I can do on the go, and I really rely on my technology. So when Brian was talking about how he only wanted to use the watch as an actual watch to tell the time, I haven't been wearing a watch for the last year and a half. I've been waiting for this Apple Watch to come out. But I mean, the younger generation just look at their phone to use the time. That I think that people want this watch because they want to be able to check their heart rate and they want to be able to check their sleeping patterns, and they want all those extra features. And if you just want a watch to tell the time, then maybe the Apple Watch isn't for you.
Exactly. If you're not an Apple fan, you can't use it. If you haven't got an iPhone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing the social media stuff for?
I've been a social media consultant for the last year and a half, but I've actually been into social media since 2009. So I've been doing lots of research and just self-taught on, the major platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, nice one. Any questions, Jody, for Lauren?
Lauren, what kind of customers do you deal with?
I deal with all sorts of customers. I deal with a lot of customers that are in my field of interest, which is beauty and fashion. But we handle restaurants and fashion boutiques, beauty brands, just anyone that really needs help with their Facebook page. I do Facebook management of pages, like take on the admin role and help customers generally just figure out and put their footprint out there on multiple platforms. Make sure that they've got a Facebook page, make sure they've got an Instagram account, make sure they've got a Twitter, and that they are diligent about updating them regularly, because that's the main thing. Is you want to get social media is instant, and so if you're going to create a Facebook page, you're going to make sure that you update that page at least 3 times a week. You don't want to create a page and then never update it. It goes dormant and you get no reach into the news feed. So we always discuss with our clients about updating the pages, really regularly.
Do you find that there's common things that they do wrong that you find among the people that, or the businesses that you work with?
I don't think that there's anything that they do wrong. I think that a lot of people just don't know how Facebook works, and they don't realize that everybody's on Facebook. So to sell your brand, to spend money marketing your brand via radio or via TV or something, it's so expensive these days. But to market your brand via social media, it's free. All you have to do is use your time to update your pages, and the customers are already there. The customers are already on Facebook. They're already scrolling through their newsfeed. They're talking to their friends. They're on Messenger. They're already there. So if you can subtly put your brand out there and put your posts into the lives of your customers on a daily basis, even if they don't purchase from you regularly, them seeing your brand online every day may turn into a purchase down the track. So, you're creating a fan base, which you then turn into a customer base.
Cool.
I find most businesses don't really understand social media. I mean, I've tried to explain somebody what Twitter is, and I even have a hard time explaining what it is and how it works. And then some, like Facebook, has so many options, it's just really hard for them to,
Facebook has so many options, and I think that's what people don't really understand about Facebook is they don't understand how it works. They know they should post on their page, but the options that Facebook gives you is absolutely amazing and incredible. And the fact that you can do unlimited posts and that you can do unlimited photos, and everything is so unlimited, and everything is free except if you want to advertise on Facebook or boost a post, etc. But everything is free on Facebook, basically. So there's a lot, that you can do via social media that, you don't have to spend so much money forking out, advertising like you do on radio or TV or in newspapers. I mean, do people really advertise in the newspapers these days? I think that's declining. The magazines is declining. Everyone's going online, even to read their magazines or read the newspaper. They're going online rather than actually purchasing it from a newsagent. Or a newsstand.
Craig Chip, what about you? Exactly. I know you run a newspaper, right? Craig Chip, do you have a newspaper? Or Dan McDermott has a newspaper?
Dan McDermott still publishes a newspaper down in Virginia, but he sees the writing on the wall, and that's why he's working with us with some community websites down there. And absolutely, the businesses need to connect with local people any way they can. They need to use Facebook. They need to use anything that's available to them. Of course, we have a network of local community websites that's geared towards businesses connecting with people in their immediate vicinity. So that's the future. That's what it's all about.
Well, we actually had Google come down to the American Banking Center and have a whole presentation for small business owners to understand how Google works, how to use their various business things and social media and so on.
Absolutely. And I just did another Google Business View photo shoot today for a client where Yeah, you do the panorama photos, and then you connect them with their street view and so forth, so that people can do a virtual tour of the business and see inside, see what it looks like, and all that, based on the doing the Google search and then just clicking right on in there. So, yeah, the businesses that tune into this sort of thing and that take the internet seriously are going to be the ones that are going to have the competitive advantage going forward.
All right, talking of Craig, you did a shout out to Tech Webcast, Craig.
I did. I was able to get one in on Dan's show there before I dodged out.
I'm going to play it for you.
Did you hear it?
Yes, I'm here. It is. If you haven't heard it, here it is. I'm going to play it for you. Here it is.
By the way, Brad from Techwebcast says that I'm right and Dan
is the other thing.
Wrong. Yeah.
Well, Brad, for the first time, I disagree.
I was just using his name to
You're talking about Brad at techwebcast.info.
Yeah, I was just trying to use his name to get some credibility because he's pretty much all that, and I was looking for some cred,
Some cred.
There you go, Craig. You got some credit, mate. There you go, mate. Good. Thank you.
Cred instead of crud.
Cred.
Good job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind riding the coattails of a successful internet guru.
Well, mate, this podcast has been around for a long time, mate.
It's pretty much all that.
Have you enjoyed your time being on the show, mate?
Yeah, this is a fantastic show. You do a great job with it. No wonder it's the biggest show in all of the East. I used to say all of Asia, right? But it's just the entire East. Everything.
Over the world, mate. Over the world.
It's all. Yeah, you've almost conquered the entire world. Yeah. Very close to conquering the entire world.
All right, Bryce. Any questions for Lauren?
No.
Okay, Mark. Any questions?
None in particular, really.
I have a question for Lauren.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah.
Lauren, can you come on our Hooping Live show Monday night at 9:00?
Sure. I don't know what time that is in Australia, but
That's about 2 hours ago.
okay, yeah, sure.
Right now it's 11:30 p.m. here, roughly.
Right. It's 1:25 p.m. here.
Okay, so it's a couple hours earlier. It's two and a half hours earlier. So the reason I want to invite you to come on is I want to talk about all the social media stuff.
Sure.
So hook up with me through Facebook or something. Brad, can you give her my Facebook information?
I can hook that up. Yeah, I can do that, mate. What about Jody? Did she get an invite too?
I've asked Jody, I don't know how many times to come on, and she just won't come on. But yeah, man, it'd be great. It'd be great if she could come on, if both of y'all could come on, because Jody knows about this stuff. I mean, she's an expert, and we need to talk a little bit about a strategy.
Which show, Craig? Hooping Live or a different?
Yeah, we need to talk about a strategy for Hooping Live for really leveraging social media, because she's got this video that's going viral, and her thing is kind of exploding. So I want to take advantage of this.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, Lauren. You'll be on the next show, I think.
Excellent, Brian. Thank
You got to
for
wear
the
a
invite.
tight.
Yeah, we use Google Hangouts to do it, so you'll have to come in for the Hangout.
Craig, not Brian. Lauren, you said Craig. Brian.
Sorry.
So tell us what else you do, Lauren.
That's me.
During the day and stuff.
Just social media, basically.
Oh.
I used to be a makeup artist for about 12 years, but after joining Twitter in 2009, I realized that social media was going to take over the world, and yeah, basically I've been studying it ever since.
Yeah, definitely. Do you get many famous people talking to you on Twitter?
Famous people?
Yeah, who's famous?
I collect celebrity replies. I've got a few from
really?
celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Mariah Carey, Tyrese
wow.
Gibson. A few of the celebrities follow me as well, but
nice one.
yeah, I'm onto my second Twitter account. My previous Twitter account had about 90,000 tweets, but I deleted that and I'm starting again. So yeah, Twitter is amazing. And
I love
it's
Twitter.
A great,
Yeah, I agree.
Great platform.
Why did you delete your first one?
I got up to about 4,000 or 5,000 followers, and I took a break from social media. It was just getting a bit too on top of me, and I decided to deactivate my account, and I didn't actually count the 30 days properly. and the account deactivated and I couldn't get it back. So, but you know, I've just started again now, and I follow the same people that I previously had followed. But I did lose my tweets, but I had saved a lot of the celebrity tweets that I got, which was fine. I screenshotted them all, and I've got the same exact username anyway, so no one took my username, thank God.
Wow, I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. I
Yeah,
didn't know
so the account actually was deactivated or deleted by Twitter. So you can actually go into your Twitter account and deactivate the account, and it will stay deactivated for 30 days. But once the 30 days expires, Twitter automatically deletes your account. So yeah, that's what happened to me. And I was a bit upset about it at the time because I had sent so many tweets, but now I'm like grateful that I've started again because it's just, you know, all those 20.
Well, and also
have
you got to
already
build
been
up
sent
all
anyway.
you got to build up all the followers again too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've got to build up the followers, and building up the followers takes ages. But you know, I'm happy about it, and now I've learnt, you know, everything you do on social media, you learn from it. So for me, it was just a learning experience, and it just helped me learn more about Twitter anyway.
Yeah, nice one. Okay, so where can they get hold of you, Lauren, if they want to ask you any more questions?
You can tweet me at Lauren Day Makeup, or
Okay.
you can contact me via Facebook. It's just facebook.com/Lauren Day Makeup.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
Too easy.
Or Instagram's the same thing. Instagram is my username's Lauren Day Makeup.
Cool. All right, well, enjoy the new iPhone on Friday. I'm sure you'll...
I will.
Good on
I'm
you.
sure I'll be tweeting about it.
Yep, I can't wait to see it. Bryce, and what have you been up to, mate, for the past month or so? You been doing much interesting, mate?
Not really.
You doing any more videos?
No, just ticking along. Nothing really interesting, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. And Mark, what about you, mate? You been doing any interesting videos, tech videos?
Not really. I've mainly been busy with work. Been doing the occasional article every now and again on that tech blog I started a few weeks back.
Nice. What's that called? Give the URL out.
It is techdownunder.com.
Oh, great name. Great name. And let's talk about Foxtel for a minute, guys. And Bryce and Mark, what's your view on the new pricing coming from November?
I think it is pretty reasonable as long as you want the cheaper packages. It's pretty reasonable. Like, I mean, if you just want to watch sport, it's now 50 instead of 75, which is good.
Yep.
Or if you have always wanted it but never had the money, you can get it as low as 25.
So the package by itself, like just one package by itself, like $25. You can
yeah, you can get just 25 only. It's pretty good.
Oh, wow, that's right. That's good. Okay, that's good. Good to
my only real objection is if you're an existing customer, obviously they're trying to force you to sign a 12-month contract.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And I think that's a bit... I don't think they should be doing that to loyal customers, making them sign a 12-month contract to, you know, get the new pricing. It's a bit dodgy.
I agree. I think it should be month to month or something, you know. And Bryce, what about you, mate? The IQ3, looking forward to that, or you're not worried about it?
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't looked at the new pricing or anything like that, but definitely looking forward to it. They haven't upgraded the box for a long time.
No, they haven't. No.
It's been a long. Oh, actually, they upgraded the storage in it. That was, I believe, the only upgrade since 2008, maybe.
They technically had two different boxes. Not many. I actually have both boxes. They had the IQ2 and the IQ HD.
Yeah, and that was the upgraded storage, wasn't it? The HD was.
Actually, the differences are extremely minor. The IQ2 actually has more inputs on the back. It has component HD out. And they removed that from the IQ HD. And they also released a version of the IQ HD with a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Which you can't get anymore, right?
The 1 terabyte version.
Yeah.
It's probably very hard to find. If they run out of stock, then you obviously can't get it. They wouldn't have manufactured too many of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How much storage is on the new one? Does anyone know?
I think it's
1 terabyte.
1 terabyte on the new IQ3.
1 terabyte.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like the original IQ2 only had 320 from memory.
Okay.
Yeah, it did.
So I'm pretty sure the IQ3 might also only have 1 terabyte.
Yeah, 1 terabyte. That's still better. That's good. They're 4 tuners, and you can record 4 shows and have 3.
I think it's even got more tuners than that.
It's crazy, yeah.
It either has 6 or 8. I can't remember. It's either 6 or 8.
It's something insane.
And the satellite version of the box will supposedly have 2 free-to-air tuners built into it.
It will do. I can't wait for that. It's going to be good. All in one box, and it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, it should be good.
Oh, wait, I'll be getting one. And Craig Ship, you're not a fan of TV, is that correct?
Apple TV?
A fan of TV at all? You don't watch TV?
Well, I use a Roku.
Yep.
And so I watch like Netflix, things on Netflix. I don't watch any regular like cable TV or any of that. I actually have a cable TV box that's out in the garage.
Wow.
It's not even hooked up. So that's how much I watch regular cable TV.
All right.
Yeah, just don't have time for it. There's
Fair
plenty of stuff on Netflix that I don't even have time to get to. So there's that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jacob, what about you? What's your fun of this show? And we need to wrap up very soon.
Hey, it was very good. I enjoyed myself.
Yep.
I love all the Apple talk, and you can find me at jazzbot36691Z.
You can get me on Twitter at Brad Oz and Techwebcast. Great show. Thanks for Lauren for being on, and Craig Ship and Mark and Bryce.
Hey, but real quick before you wrap, Lauren, I friended you on Facebook and I sent you a link to that viral video that I mentioned.
Okay, great.
And she's the host, Audrey, the one in that video. She's the host of the Hooping Live show that I want to get you on Monday night.
Okay, yes.
So we'll talk about that viral video also.
That'll be on Tuesday for you, Lauren. That's Tuesday for you. So.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Mark. What's your fun of you on the show, mate? I'm making to get hold of you.
I know the show has been pretty interesting, although I don't agree with all the anti-Android stuff.
What's that? What Android stuff?
I don't agree with all the anti-Android stuff. I agree that
he thinks Android's all that. There's got to be one.
Well, what actual Android phone have you tried though? Because the cheaper Android phones can be shitty. But if you actually get a good Android phone, that can be great.
I've tried them at Costco here. They have them on display, and you can pick them up and play with them and all that. They just seem laggy. They just don't seem to be as crisp, and they don't seem to. And also, the quality of the hardware doesn't seem to be up to the iPhone standards.
I don't agree with that. If you compare the Note 4 to the new iPhone, the hardware in the Note 4 is almost 2 times better, if not more than that.
It's real plastic. It's kind of like
don't get in an argument with Greg. Okay, he will always try to find ways to bring you down.
It's low end. It's low end stuff. I mean, if people want to save money, they can buy that stuff.
Nah, it depends what phone you're looking at. If you compare the Note 4 to the iPhone 6, you will see that the Note 4 has superior hardware.
Brian, what do you want to say to Craig Ship?
I don't know.
Well, you had a chance. You got.
I don't know why you should. You're not really an Apple person if you're not getting the iPhone 6, man.
Well, I'm both. I'm both Apple and.
I didn't buy the iPhone 5. I went from the 4S to the 5S.
Come on.
I don't buy everything they sell. I buy quality. I go for the best. All right. I don't care what it is.
Are you saying the iPhone 6 isn't good quality, Craig? I thought you would have bought iPhone 6.
No, I mean, I'm saying that I'm happy with the 5S. It's working great for me. It's a fantastic phone. And I'm probably going to wait until the 6S comes out and buy that. And they don't have the holster yet for it. There's a lot of accessories they don't have for the bigger size because it just came out. And the people that make the accessories and all didn't have them, so they can't make the stuff. And so there's some advantage sometimes to waiting. And waiting until all the dust settles, and then buying the next unit. I mean, teach their own. The 6 is a great unit, and I guarantee you it'll be 10 times better than any Android phone. So 10 times better.
Not really, no.
It's not even close. I mean, it's not even.
Okay, we could go on for 5 hours with this.
Yeah, we could. The
apps on Android, Mark. I don't like the apps on the Android, mate. I had a Samsung S4 phone for a month, mate, and the apps are just terrible.
It's the difference between ice cream and shit. I mean, it's not even.
Oh my God!
Mark, what do you want to say about the apps, mate? What apps do you like better, iOS or Android?
Look, there used to be a huge gap. iOS used to have far better apps than Android. I agree with that, but now it's pretty close. I have both an iPad and a Note 3.
Yep.
And the app quality is pretty close. 2 years ago, Android apps were shit, but now it's pretty close. So I don't.
Brad, are you going to try that? Are you going to take your chance and try an Android phone again?
Hell no. You'll never get me on an Android phone if you paid me. I would never go back to Android. I'd never go back to Android.
Holy cow! And you're a tech genius, for God's sake.
I would never go back to Android.
That tells us something.
Look, it's fair enough. It's fair enough
the
if
iPhone.
you prefer. It's fair enough if you prefer the iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you look at them on paper, the Note 4 is actually better.
Well,
than
yeah,
the
on
iPhone
paper they look great, but they're just kludged together. It's like the guy at the end of the street that puts together a hot rod, puts a real powerful engine in, and puts some fancy wheels and tires on, and cobbles the whole thing together, and it's every which way. And then you compare that to a Lexus. I mean, yeah, he's got a more powerful engine. He's got this, he's got that, and all, but it doesn't all work together well. It doesn't. There's no synergy there, right? With the iPhone, everything just works. Everything just flows. It's just like
it's like I had the Samsung.
It's like a ballet. It's like everything is just in sync, and it's just oh my gosh, it's just soothing, right?
When I had the Samsung S4 phone, I had to actually restart it probably about 3 times a day.
Well,
yeah, it's a bag of hurt.
It's not always about the hardware. It's the software too. And Apple designs its software around its hardware, something that other manufacturers can't do, or up to a point they can.
I realize that Apple does both the hardware and the software, which is a benefit for Apple. Though at the same time, you can't just say, "Oh, all Android mobiles are shit," because it's not true, really.
Well, they're just not as good. They're just not even close. I mean,
that is not at all true. Not at all true.
If you're not,
if you used the Note 3 for a month, you would not be saying that, though.
I mean, if it's not a mission critical piece of equipment, right? If you don't really need it to make a living, then take a chance on an Android phone. It's probably a good hobby, but if you're out there making a living and you need a professional,
you've obviously never used an Android phone for more than 10 minutes inside of a supermarket. Because that's not true.
Yeah, but yeah,
I don't
good. That's
jump
a
off
point.
a building. No, it's not a good idea.
Craig, can I just say, you can't really say Android shit because you haven't really used it. 10 minutes is not enough, mate.
I'm just saying, I don't need to jump off a building to know that that's not a good idea. I can look at all the facts and look.
I have used.
I talked to people that have them. Dan McDermott has one, for gosh sakes, and it's a bag of hurt. Everybody I've talked to that's had an Android phone has had issues with it. I've had no issue whatsoever with any of my iPhones. None of them. Zero.
I have owned 4 iPhones in the past, and I've also owned a number of Android phones. And from a completely unbiased opinion, what you're saying about, the top-end Android mobiles really isn't true.
Have you had problems with your iPhones?
I have.
But I never had
a problem with mine. If I did have a problem with mine, I'd be the first one to say.
I haven't had any problems with the Android phones either.
I've gone through 2 of the iPhone 5s because they were such shit quality. Like the lock button didn't work, the screen, and I don't drop them either. I take care of them.
I've never had a problem with any of mine.
But I mean, it's a case by case thing. Look, I've had a few Android phones, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's down to what you individually prefer. If you're, I've seen people go from iOS to Android and they like it. My brother actually switched and he likes it. So,
he likes Android?
Yeah, it's each to their own. I've had the Galaxy Note and it's a good phone. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good phone. I had the S4. I wasn't that much of a fan. But it's each to their own. I've had problems with the iPhone. I think the iPhone 5 at least was really shitty quality. At least I went through 2 models. Both of them just were gone.
So you're not a fan of Android then, Bryce? You wouldn't go back to an Android phone, mate?
I enjoy the user experience in iOS, but that's the only reason. I mean, if you're really into technology and you really, really know what you're doing, you tend to be on an Android anyway because you like the extra features that you can do. Apple's pretty restrictive in what you can actually do, but a lot of the arguments that are made by the people who are anti-Android, they're not. Some of them are really across technology, but
give us an example of something,
there's more. How do I put it? There's more freedom in Android. So if you know what you're doing, you can pretty much do anything you want
and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you can do pretty much anything you want. Plus, also the other thing is that Android does have the largest market share, And again, they are cheaper, so you would expect
Yeah,
it. But
they don't have the largest market share in the U.S. Almost everybody has iPhones in the U.S. The reason Android's selling a ton of phones is most of them are junk, cheap phones that they're selling in Asia and India and places like that.
But
If you look at the U.S.,
global
most of the
market
people,
share.
yeah, that's right. If you look at the high dollar market, the people that are professionals, that use this stuff,
high dollar.
yeah. If you look at the people that use this stuff professionally, most of them use iPhones.
Yep. Okay.
And
so
the ones that claim that they use Android, like Leo Laporte, for example, they're freaking lying. Okay, most of the time he uses an iPhone, and they talk like they use.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Jody Rains, are you there?
I am.
Okay, what's your point of view of the show? And let's wrap up because I know you want to go to bed.
I know it's almost midnight here in the United States.
It is.
First of all, you guys, everybody's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Craig, you're going to owe me dinner, okay?
I'm the exception, right?
No, you're going to owe me dinner because I'm going to win on this bet that I had about the iWatch becoming an iWatch.
Hey, I'd buy you dinner. I'd buy you dinner anyway. I win that bet either way.
Oh, wow.
All right.
But guys, thanks so much.
Thanks,
You
Jay.
can find
Appreciate it. Appreciate
you
it.
can find me on Twitter as Sunswept and all the usual places. It's either Jody Rains or Webmarcom.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Jada, for being on. Appreciate it. I'm see you next week. Let's go to Belinda. What's your final view of the show?
It's just funny hearing the arguments between the Android and iPhone. It's kind of like when Apple was competing with Microsoft.
It is very funny. I love when Craig
Going back to that,
this is Android. I think it's so funny the way he puts stuff.
Yeah, but I prefer the iPhone because
Yeah,
of the
definitely, so
user
do I.
experience pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Okay, where can they get hold of you, Belinda? Do I want to ask you any more questions?
My Twitter thing is at bdemi.
Okay, yep.
BDEMY.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you for being on. Who else we going to ask? Lauren, what about you?
I thought the show was great. Thank you for having me on. It was the first time I've been on Techwebcast, but I've actually been following the Techwebcast or known Brad for a couple of years. I think since 2009. Hey, Brad.
I think so. Yes. Yeah, it's been long.
Yeah, we've been friends on Facebook forever. So thanks for inviting me on. I had a great time.
No problem. And come back on any time, Lauren. If you're free.
I will.
Saturdays.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to Mark. What about you, Mark?
Also got really running where you can find me online or.
Well, yeah. What's your? Did you like the show?
Yeah, it's too confusing to mention my normal Twitter. I still need to change that. Though my Twitter is at CheckDownUnder for the new Twitter page I made.
Yep.
And just checkdownunder.com.
All right, good stuff, mate. And thanks for being on.
Thanks.
And Chatterbox Live. What about you?
Yeah, it was a great show. It got interesting there for a while. It was good. Getting different opinions. You can find me on Twitter as Chatterbox_live.
Okay, and Bryce, what about you, man?
You can find me on Twitter at BILSTA57.
Okay, all right. Brian Boer, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Brian Boer and Modern Day Comps.
All right.
For my little and same thing for Facebook and Google Plus.
All right. Well, let us know what phone you're going to pick. What phone do you have at the moment, Brian? What phone do you have?
I have the S4.
S4, okay. And you're going to upgrade very soon, right?
If I don't run out of money.
Okay.
It's the cost that really is,
Do they give you free upgrades?
It's justifying. Well, I mean, it's justifying that if I really wanted to get the best of the iPhone, because this would be my first iPhone.
Yeah.
It's $1,000. I can get a MacBook Air for the same price.
But so you'd be actually buying the phone outright?
I'll have to decide on it.
Well, I wouldn't buy the phone outright.
I didn't pre-order it, so
I would just get on a plan then. Let's get on a plan.
Either way you pay.
Really?
It's
different.
You pay monthly.
If
you get on the plan, you pay monthly. If you buy it outright, you buy it outright. I mean, either way, you pay for the phone. You don't get a phone free in the U.S.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you had to pay outright over there, but I pay monthly.
I have the ability since I'm on T-Mobile, because what they're going to do is probably get me to pay about $400 up front.
Oh, wow.
And then it's like whatever, like $20-$30 a month for 2 years. And I can blow it away, anytime. Like I already did it with my S4. So,
all right, good stuff. Thanks for being on, Brian. Craig Ship, thank you for being on, mate. Appreciate your time.
Great show. Great show.
Yep, and you're going to head back to Google Plus a week.
If they're still broadcasting, I'll pop in there and plug Techwebcast.
Oh yeah, please do. And thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Bryce and Mark, for being on.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, and Linda.
Thanks, Brad.
Linda, thank you. Thank you for being on too.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.
See you. Bye.
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 Techwebcast. The hosts and guests are unsurpassed. Techwebcast. 'Cause technology, it moves so fast. Techwebcast. Ha! Stick around and you're gonna have a blast. Yeah! Techwebcast. Ha! Ha! Techwebcast. Big ups to Andrew, to Brad, Jody, Steve, and Jennifer.